Welcome to the grandstand here at the Hungaroring nearby Budapest. Hello and welcome to the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. Isn't that nice being finally here with all the fans in the stands, and we've got a perfect view to the grid where soon there's going to be a lot of action. Yes, hi there. Greeting mom and dad at home and the dog, as Ches Draycott, our English commentator, would say. So we are very glad to see everybody cheering up. So race 2 under perfect condition. The sun is shining, a little bit of white clouds here and there. There's a band already playing there in the back. It's grid time. Also, some fans had the opportunity to get a ticket to be right there on the track. So we do see the perfect conditions here. We do have perfect conditions for our commentators as well. Ches Draycott and Joachim Eberts, I hope you are in such a good mood as we are.
Yes, I certainly am, Christina. I'm not sure about EB, but he certainly seemed very, very happy earlier. Hello, everybody. Ches Draycott here for the final race of the weekend in the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. And it's been a phenomenal weekend. Only my second weekend at the circuit with this championship since we started working together, but I will be on site for a number of more occasions this season, and I cannot wait for it. We go to Slovakia-ring in 3 weeks' time. Another very interesting circuit where I will be excited to commentate. I will, however, be there sort of remotely from that point, but Christina and I can still play ping pong as we always do. And I say at this point, back to you, Christina.
Yes, thank you. And I'll take the ball and we'll pass it right over to you again. So I just wanted to show you this moment because, yes, you can hear it. They're also exciting scene. Team Reves, of course, but all the other teams as well. So let's have a quick look at the highlight because Nobby Kish played a role in race 1, obviously.
That was a quick look back at some of the shots from the earlier race today. As you saw, very hard-fought contest out there on track with these big, beefy machines. They may not be small touring cars or GT cars, but there is still plenty of close racing and contact to go with it. It's always exciting to watch the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship, and we welcome you to the final race of the weekend. We've had a very interesting ride up to this point, a really positive and energetic first race of the day, left us with a very exciting reverse grid. Now, one of the main talking points about that reverse grid is the fact that Théo Calvé, the young Frenchman, will start on pole position. He leads the Promoters' Cup at the moment. He starts alongside Steffi Halm. The number 44 truck will be on the outside line going into turn 1. I'll get back to Théo Calvé in a minute. Andre Kurtzim and Jamie Anderson make up row 2 on the grid. Jamie having a fantastic 5th place overall in that the third race of the weekend, the first race of the day. Sasha Lenz and Jochen Hahn, that's an absolute powerhouse of a third row, isn't it? And, well, you speak about powerhouses, you've then got Adam Lachko and Norbert Kish on row 4. Kish winning 2 out of the 3 races today, or at least this weekend, and Adam Lachko winning the other one. Now, Shane Brereton in 9th, ahead of Antonio Albertetti, is the sort of other part of the talking point about Teo Calvé. Of course, those two trying to fight each other for the Promoters' Cup. Teo is a lot further up the order than Shane would like. He's right at the front end of the thing for this race. Shane is going to have to do a lot of work and hope that there's some sort of battling goes on with Teo that knocks him a bit further down the order, or at least slows him down so he can try and catch up during these early stages. Completing our grid were Anthony Janiek, Martin Gibson and Heinrich Clemens Hecker. Stefan Fass, unfortunately, not taking part in this race. Steffi's certainly shrunk, hasn't she? Not sure she'll see over the dashboard these days. There she is, by the side of her truck. I walked past earlier and she was signing a lot of autographs for people. She's got a lot of fans here. She waves to our cameraman as well. Lovely stuff. Blows us a kiss, bless her. And she was actually, there were spare parts of the truck that had sort of snapped off the fiberglass, and there were fans asking if they could take pieces of the truck away. People trying to stuff these massive pieces of truck into their backpacks and so on, and asking for these interviews. It was fantastic. Sorry, autographs, not interviews. It was absolutely fantastic. And it's just, again, part of the camaraderie and the enjoyment that everybody shares with this brilliant championship. But the number 44 machine, a really, really good looking truck. The Team Schwaben truck doing a mega job as ever to prepare that machine in as beautiful way as possible. And there's a long distance shot for you. Look at that. The pink wing mirrors, one of the highlights on Steffi's truck. She actually has one of their sponsors as well, which provides seats. I'm not sure if they're just race seats, but they provide seats for trucks and other vehicles, and they have like an image of the seat sort of realistically imposed on the side of the truck, so it looks like the door is completely invisible as the truck drives along. It's quite funny, actually. Now, there is Norbert Kish, all of his team, and so many people around him on the grid. I mean, if you go into the paddock and have a look at Norby's awning where the team are, there is an unbelievable amount of people constantly queuing up to see their local hero, and he really is a star here. And another star that we've got here is Christina, who is down there on the grid for us.
Oh, wow, I owe you something for that. Thank you very much. Clemens Hecker is a real star here right now because he's one of the drivers. Cooling down a bit, trying to get a bit of a shade, helmets off, but still the last race this second weekend. I know you had a tough weekend, but still looking forward to get the Minna ongoing.
Ja, wie gesagt, gestern war schon sehr spannend, gerade das zweite Rennen, was uns auch alle sehr emotional berührt hat hier. Dann war auch gut, wo es vorbei war gestern Abend. Heute Morgen, wie gesagt, neuer Tag, neue Runde. Wir haben immer noch mit technischen Problemen zu kämpfen. Unsere Vorderreifen, die gehen hier bei dem Asphalt einfach nur so weg beim Zugucken. Aber wenn ich da wirklich 3 Runden fliegen lasse, dann sind die weg. Und ich sag mal, wenn wir jetzt oben aufs Thermometer schauen, da stehen irgendwie 34 Grad im Schatten. Deswegen haben wir uns hier mal auf die Beifahrerseite in den Schatten verzogen, um noch ein bisschen runterzukühlen.
So it's 35 degrees Celsius here in the shades. And he said, of course, yesterday it was a difficult day for all of us. And of course, he said, we've been touched emotionally by this second race, this massive crash. Remember that, of course. And yes, they had some technical problems as well. And due to this warm weather, they've got problems with the tires because the rubber comes off really, really easily. And he said, if I'm given full speed, I will lose my tires. So, ja, wie gehst du damit um? Was für eine Strategie machst du jetzt? How does your strategy then?
Wir müssen einfach versuchen, langsam in die Kurve einzufahren, dass der Reifen nicht so viel arbeitet, dass wir besser gerade rauskommen. Und ich sag mal, das ist leicht gesagt, aber nicht ganz so leicht umzusetzen. Und da sind wir bei.
So he says, yeah, the strategy will be like not be so hard on the brakes then at the turns, so give it a smooth entry, save a bit of the tires, and it's easy to say, as you said, but during race time, you know, it seems to be very different. So, and back to our best commentators then, I will pass the ball over to you, Jazz and Ebi in German.
Thank you very much, Christina. Compliments pay back with compliments. They certainly do. Now, Andre Kurzim is there alongside Jamie Anderson on the grid. They will be starting from row 2. Both of them have had quite strong pace at certain points of this weekend. They're really going to be interesting characters to see in this one. Andre Kurzim's had to do a lot of defending in the last 2 races, and Jamie was really impressive in that other one. I actually went to walk down to the paddock a little bit earlier and I saw Lucas Hahn after his fantastic performance with that champagne bottle on the podium. with all of the Reveche Racing team. But he was saying that they were really impressed by Jamie Anderson in that race. You know, they had incredible pace. The truck was really well fixed, and it just seemed to absolutely go everywhere. I know that's using the word "go" seems strange in that context, but the thing just looked really, really well planted. Jamie seemed really confident in it as well, and the pace was absolutely awesome. So hopefully more of the same from him, and more pace from Andrei Kurzim as well. He has potential to come away from this weekend with a lot of big points this time round, so I'm excited to see what that holds for him. And I can see a number of our guys down there with, I think I saw Mike there, our cameraman, which would mean that Christina is nearby with Norbert Kiss.
Yes, and we're trying to get an interview with the Hungarian sports minister. I may try to ask her. Mr. Saba, hello, nice to meet you. Are you ready for a small interview for the ITRA and the official channel?
I understand, but in English is not better.
Could you just say in Hungarian that you're glad to be here?
Okay.
Yes, that would be very nice. So she said that he's very glad to be here. We want to hear that in Hungarian for our spectators.
Okay, thank you. Köszönöm szépen, nagyon nagy megtiszteltetés, hogy itt lehetünk, és nagyon sikeresek a magyar sportolóink is. Fantasztikus csapatok állnak most helyszínre, és itt mindig is örömmel fogadjuk a magyarokat, és természetesen a nemzetközi csapatokat is. Nagyon büszkék vagyunk az automotorsportra, nagyon fontos, ez a világban a legnépszerűbb sportok között van, úgyhogy köszönjük, hogy idehozták Magyarországra az Európa-bajnoki futamot, és mindenkinek nagyon sok sikert kívánok.
Thank you very much. Automotorsport is what I got, and fantastic, of course. Fantastic is a word I understood also. So let's go over and see where Nova Kish is heading here, because you see lots of fans over here. Yeah, he's over there with his helmet off. Let's go just have a look at him. I think he's got quite a few things to say to all the fans of him, of course, and yeah, he's mimicking his wobbly starts maybe sometimes here on the grid. Back to you, Chaz.
Yeah, there's a fantastic buzz around Norbert Kiss, isn't there? You know, he's an absolute superstar, and great to see the Hungarian. I think you said she was the sports minister, and just awesome to see her on the grid there. And of course, you know, hearing Hungarian as a language, it's apparently so difficult to learn. I mean, maybe it's slightly because I don't understand a single word of it, but it seems like an incredibly different language, or difficult language, I should say, just to even speak. It's such a fast, well-spoken language. It's amazing, absolutely amazing, but still great to have so many awesome people here on the grid for this weekend, and you can see just how many people are around Norby's truck. There's a wonderful amount of attraction here with this sport, and people just wanting to come and see their local hero. He's going to be starting, though, from 8th on the grid. Now, here in the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship, we reverse the top 8 positions of the grid for the second race on each day. So races 2 and 4 have the top 8 from the race before them reversed. So that means that Norbert Kish will start 8th with Adam Lachko alongside him, and he will be on the outside of the grid. Lachko will be on the inside. Jochen Hahn and Sascha Lenz both in front as well. Now, Norby is really good when it comes to making positions up in the opening laps. Sascha Lenz is really good off the line, even though it is a rolling start. He's just great at judging exactly when the field is going to go, and he gets absolute lightning starts pretty much every single time. So the guys are going to have their wits about them, and especially Andrei Kurzim and Teo Calve, who are directly in front of Sascha. They will have to really be careful as well. But the sun continues to beat down here on the beautiful Hungaroring. It's nearly 30 degrees Celsius everywhere you go. It feels like it's about 30 degrees Celsius in the shade as well, to be honest with you. But it's an absolutely glorious place to be. Look at the scenery in the background as well. It is wonderful to see. And another person that's wonderful to see is Steffi, who is joining Christina on the grid.
Absolutely. So our commentator says wonderful scenery, of course, the fans there. Second race this Sunday. Reverse grid. We remember reverse grid from yesterday. Keep it all out of our heads. How do you focus on this race?
It's the same focus like on every race, you know. Yesterday, we have to forget yesterday. We have to discuss in a silent second when we have time, I think. But now it's a new race. I hope everybody of us learned the lesson what happened when we pushed too hard and maybe tried too much in the first corner or first 3 corners. So I think that everybody have enough time to sleep over the race of yesterday, and I hope today we will have a good and fair race.
How's your technical setup going?
It's okay. We are searching the whole weekend for the right setup and change some things, and I don't know on which way we are. I hope on the right way. We will see it in a few minutes.
Okay. Thank you very much. So hopefully on the right way. Chaz, you are definitely on the right way.
I hope so. It certainly feels like there's quite the buzz around this final race to round out the weekend. We can see Teo Calve just making his way up towards his truck there. Here's a quick look at the circuit itself. A very, very complex and dynamic layout, this track. There's a lot of sharp corners, there's a lot of shallow corners, and of course that sort of middle to last sector after the chicane at the top of the map that we see there. Turns 8 and 9 and 10 and 11, the left, right section, so difficult because each of those 4 corners is really different. It feels like you're doing 2 high-speed chicanes when you go around there, but each tiny little input makes such a difference to what momentum you can carry around there. It says 28 degrees on the left there, as you see. Very, very hot here this afternoon. It feels more like 58 to me, but then again, I'm British, so as soon as the sun comes out, all I do is complain. And to be honest, I should actually celebrate the fact that I get to come and enjoy some glorious European sunshine on the mainland for these events. There's Sasha Lenz's truck and one of his crew members looking pretty cool, calm and collected right now as they await the start of the race. The number 2 machine, of course, prepared by SL Truck Sport 30. And I'll give a shout out to Jane as well, who does their social media. She is an absolute star. She is a real ball of energy amongst the paddock. I'm pretty sure everybody knows Jane. She's an absolute superstar, bless her. And it is just great to have everybody back together for this final race. We, of course, send our best wishes to Stefan Fass, who we will not see on the grid for this last one, but we hope to see him back right as rain for the next round at Slovakia Ring, which will be in 3 weeks' time. And in less than 3 weeks' time, i.e. right now, we'll go back down to Christina.
Yes, the German-Portuguese, I am loving the sun. But what about the drivers? Jochen Hahn, really tough conditions because of the sun, but also kind of a sunny way to drive through race 2. So the technical setup, is that, did you make some changes to yesterday, and how is it today for you?
I know today we have still small problems on the rear axle with vibration, so we don't found it really. The point is I must change my style to drive, and I overdrive the front axle, and yeah, it is what we see in the first race. The first 4 laps I can push. I'm on position 3rd, fight for 2nd, but in the end of the race it's impossible to hold. So we don't, I think we don't found it, but we will work on it, and for Slovakia Ring, without vibrations, we are back.
You had 1 foot on the first position. I saw that yeah, on the podium. It was just goofing around a bit. So there was a drivers' meeting up this morning, of course, and everyone was thinking of the scenes of yesterday, keeping it out of the mind, of course, right now. Does that influence your driving?
No, not really. Normally, I do it. I try to do it with respect. But yesterday, it's a situation. We can only talk about it, but changing it's not possible. It's too much truck out in one corner, and every truck will come back, or every race car. And yeah, it's eine Verknüpfung von vielen Missverständnissen. And in the end, we are a little bit unlucky, but all is repaired and go safety.
Yeah. As you said, it's just metal and plastics. Yeah. So thank you very much. And Verknüpfung von Missverständnissen is that is linked, like we said, domino effect of some little misunderstandings. But Chaz, we do understand each other, don't we?
I think so, to be fair, Christina. I think we do a pretty good job of this ping-pong game, as we call it, to be very honest with you. Great to hear from Jochen Hahn, as ever. And he was saying that, of course, he is overdriving the front end of that truck a little bit. We all noticed that in the first race of today, race 3 of the weekend, he did start catching up to the eventual second place finisher Adam Lachko, but then in the last couple of laps he just dropped away, maybe overworked the tyres a little bit too much, just pushed the truck a little bit too hard. And it's so easy for these drivers to do that. You know, they rely on every single piece of equipment inside these trucks working to perfect standard, and unfortunately sometimes it is a little bit easy to overdo it and just push that bit too hard. So the Ford F-Max official truck makes its way away from our grid and down towards turn 1. The beautiful International Truck of the Year 2019 Ford F-Max is being used as the vehicle for inspecting the circuit ahead of each race that we do here in this championship. And we have Lucas driving the Ford F-Max today, and again, putting it through its paces, of course. Lucas has a fantastic amount of experience driving trucks and working with safety truck programs back in his, I believe it's his day job at least, either that or he's shown me some videos and pictures of it where he's just doing it for fun. But either way, great to see him at the wheel. I believe he's got his partner in the passenger seat as well, and it's her birthday today. We were celebrating her birthday as soon as it ticked over to midnight last night. And, of course, we all wish her a fantastic day. And, I mean, a day when you can go out in the official pace truck, sorry, the official truck, I should say, is always going to be a good day, isn't it? Especially in the beautiful sunshine here in the centre of Hungary. They're just making their way up now to turn 4, where they will then throw the truck through the left kink towards turn 5, and then up the hill towards the chicane. And there you see the branding on the side, the International Truck of the Year 2019, the humongous slogan on the back of it as well. It's really, really great to see. And it's also worked quite nicely in the fact that, of course, Goodyear coming on board as the title sponsor of the championship, the title partner. They have their wonderful dark blue branding. We already have 2 beautiful dark blue trucks on our grid as well. The official truck here, and of course our pace truck as well, the Iveco S-Way. But Lucas makes his way round and certainly checks everything is right as rain on the circuit. No debris, no spillages of any kind. Nothing untoward that the trucks might not be too well acquainted with should they meet it around the circuit. Now you will have seen as well the height difference in these trucks compared to the race trucks that we have, and they are a lot lower down, but the size difference is not massive, to be honest with you. They just sort of take away the top cab part, as you see just above the official truck sort of branded sort of sun visor there. Anything above that is sort of taken off the race trucks. They don't have that sort of aerodynamic shape at the top of them. They're usually just a flat roof, and the aerodynamics are down the side of the cab. And then, of course, they are much lower to the ground and have a lower centre of gravity because of that. But it's not a massive difference, to be honest with you. But still, inspection lap complete. Thank you to Lucas and his partner. Again, have a fantastic birthday and enjoy the rest of the day in the sunshine. It's a wonderful place to be. So, we will wait only a couple of moments longer for everything to come into place, and Frank the Tank will lead us away in the Iveco S-Way, and we will get the final race of the weekend here at the Hungaroring underway. There is Steffi Helm, starting on the left-hand side of the front row alongside Teo Calve. The two of them came together at Misano on the first lap of the second race, where Teo unfortunately was given a penalty. The 1 minute board has just been shown, and you can see the heat haze across the circuit as well. The actual heat yesterday in the pit wall was unbelievable. After the broadcast and after everything was finished, there was a number of us stood talking in the pit lane, and I leant on the pit wall itself, and because of the mass and the sort of size of the pit wall, all of this concrete, it was absolutely red hot to touch, even though the sun had gone down. It was amazing the amount of temperature that it had retained. Absolutely, just ridiculous. I completely didn't expect it. Now, hopefully, the drivers are expecting a nice, clean race start here. We're certainly hoping for it as well. And there is the man hoping to get a victory out of this one, Norbert Kish, starting this race 8th on the grid with a lot of work to do. Any moment now, we should get going, and there is the green flag. And the horns all get louder and louder in the grandstands, and everybody that is watching along at the side of the circuit gets more and more excited as these absolute Goliaths get their way down to turn 1. As a reminder as well, our Iveco S-Way, the beautiful official pace truck of the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship, is powered by Bio-LNG. You can see the humongous tanks on the side of it as Frank turns into turn 1 here. Those humongous, beautiful chrome Iveco branded LNG tanks either side, where the fuel tanks would usually be on a normal truck. But again, sustainable fuel is part of the key ingredients here in this championship. All of our trucks run on 100% renewable HVO diesel. And of course, having the Bio-LNG Iveco as well is another step towards making sure that emissions are completely reduced. The championship has committed to be carbon neutral by 2038 at the latest as well. So they are making steps not just to keep the racing sustainable, but also to help out the trucking industry as well. And I must as well mention that, again, it's great to have such a big grid after what happened yesterday, to get all of the trucks back out in the race. A hats off and a massive thank you to all of the team members that are involved here in this championship for working on their respective vehicles, helping one another out, and of course getting all of their own vehicles back out on the circuit in a safe way for those drivers to actually compete and give us fantastic entertainment again on this Sunday afternoon. Shane Brereton there in the middle of the grid starts alongside Antonio Albacete. Those two will, I'm sure, have some sort of battle in the early stages. Shane loves to have a good scrap on track, doesn't he? There is the seat that you could see on the side of Steffi Halm's truck. They have like a sort of decal up the side of it. It looks really, really funny. There's a big tiger branding as well up the side of Steffi's truck. I love the white and orange design. It's the same design as Jochen Hahn's truck, but just with a different colour scheme, effectively, as Team Schwaben truck. Now, let's not forget, they are teamed up in the Teams Championship as well. We do have a Teams Championship where they're in sort of 2 truck teams. So Norbert Kisch and Antonio Albacete, the reigning champions as well. They were Team Titan last year. Now they're Revish and T-Sport. Jochen Hahn and Steffi Halm are Die Bullen von Iveco, the 2 German drivers teaming up for this series as well. Sascha Lenz and Shane Brereton are Team Lowenpower. And then Theo Calve and Adam Lachko, of course, Bagheera ZM Racing. The only team, actually, with identical trucks and liveries. But it's a fantastic competition that they have within the championship, where some of these drivers all decide to team up with one another and try and go head-to-head with other teams out on track. So we're just coming down into turn 12 now. Now watch the pace truck at the front here. Watch the cab completely lean over as Frank throws it in. It's great stuff to watch. I love the Iveco, and everybody by now is fed up of me telling them that I love the Iveco. But I will never stop declaring my love for that machine. It's awesome. Absolutely awesome. And I was having a couple of drinks with Frank last night as well, and he's always a wonderful laugh. He's such a happy bloke as well. Just a joy to be with is Frank. He's a great guy. So the focus very much on Norbert Kisch then in the middle of the pack. Look at that, completely surrounded, and he's going to be on the outside of turn 1 when they get there. He's going to be on the inside of turn 3 though, sorry, turn 2, which could make things interesting if he manages to get a decent launch and a decent getaway. However, race number 4 for this weekend and round 8 of the 2022 Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship is underway now. They get on the power, the green flag is, well, not quite in the air, but the lights have gone green, and everybody starts to fan out in the middle. Albacete's got a fantastic start and goes alongside Norbert Kisch. Albacete's on the right-hand side of your shot. Norby's still on the outside. Sascha Lenz, by the look of it, was trying to get around Jochen Hahn, but that hasn't quite worked. Janiek's down the inside of Shane Brereton in the 17 as well, and Calve holds on to his race lead. Kurzim holds on to second, and Steffi Halm has dropped down, actually. Kurzim doesn't hold on to second. He gains second after starting third in this race. Steffi Halm has dropped a number of positions already. Jamie Anderson round the outside of her there in turn 2. Norbert Kisch trying to hold on ahead of Sascha Lenz. It's important for him to stay ahead of Sascha. He's actually overtaken him off the start. Sascha started 5th. Norby started 8th. And he's already there. Now Norbert Kisch has had a tap in the rear. There's another tap as well. Big contact. Now I wonder who that was from. Was it Sasha Lenz? No, I think actually Jamie Anderson as he tried to go around the outside of turn 3, and he's already got in front. Nice aggressive start from Norby. This is what he's good at, though. He gets the positions very early on in these races. Jochen Hahn puts his nose down the inside of André Kurzim as they go up through turn 5. He's trying to get second place so he can go chasing down Teo Calve. André moves over to the right and says, "You have it back, sunshine." Through down the inside goes Jochen Hahn. But Teo Calve holds on at the moment in the number 20 Bagheera Racing Freightliner. And then it's Jochen Hahn, André Kurzim, Steffi Halm, Norbert Kish, Jamie Anderson, Sasha Lenz, Adam Lachko, Anthony Janiak and Antonio Alberthetti rounding out the top 10 at the moment. Look at the field making its way there through the right-hander, then the long, long left at turn 9 into the right-hander at turn 10. Sorry, turn 11, that is. Steffi Halm now just in front of Norby. Is he going to get the run out of the corner to try and go down the inside? No, Steffi defends on the right-hand side of the circuit. Steffi had an amazing battle here last season with Adam Lachko. It was amazing entertainment. And hopefully we can see more of the elbows out defending from Steffi in this race against the reigning champion and current championship leader. As Jochen Hahn has got alongside Teo Calve for the race lead. He's going to try and go round the outside into the final corner. It'll be an absolutely awesome move by Jochen if he can get that done. He set it up a couple of corners ago. Teo runs him just out wide, but the overlap is not there. Great driving by Teo Calve to hold on to that position. And now down the start-finish straight they go. Look at them all fanning out, trying to find just that little bit of cool air that hasn't been disturbed by a truck in front of them. Look for Norbert Kish down the inside in the red truck, down the inside of Steffi Halm. Needs to try and be careful not to hit André Kurzim. Very, very close to making contact. I think he did make contact with Steffi Halm, actually, side by side as he went round the apex. And he blocks off the left-hand side. Instantly goes defensive down the inside. Has to get it stopped, though. Maybe compromise his line slightly. But no, he's got the job done nice and tidy. So Teo Calve leads. Jochen Hahn second. Kurzim now third. Having to defend once again from a really fast driver behind him. And that is Norbert Kish. Sasha Lenz struggling to move forward. He's in 7th position in the number 2 truck. Adam Lachko behind him. And then Janiak just behind the pair of them. But we've seen Teo Calve perform so brilliantly from the front before. Just got to hope now that he can keep his cool. He's the youngest driver on the grid, is Teo Calve. As Kurzim goes a bit deep into the chicane and Norbert Kish, well, he gets that job done very, very nicely, doesn't he? Very, very quick turnaround of positions there by Norby. Apologies for any background noise that you can hear. It seems like some of the guys here from one of the other series are sort of dismantling some of their scrutineering equipment. But now, already, Norbert Kish is right behind Jochen Hahn. They started 8th, and well, 6th and 8th on the grid. Jochen started 6th, Norby starting 8th. And they've sort of followed each other up through the order to this point where after just 2 laps, they are 2nd and 3rd behind Teo Calve. And back up the hill they go then. It's quite the climb actually up into turn 14, you know, the final corner. Quite the climb. It's a very, very uphill section. Down the start-finish straight once more then. Teo Calve still leading the way in the Bagheera ZM Racing Freightliner. Gorgeous looking machine. With the blue highlights, his teammate Adam Lachko has the yellow highlights. Sasha Lenz, well, he's trying to become a part of the highlights as he throws one down the inside of Jamie Anderson into turn 1. Jamie won't take to that too kindly, but Lachko thinks, oh, okay, you're going to want to open that door for me. I will go straight in there, thank you very much. The two of them very close to each other as they make their way into turn 2. And now look, Anthony Janiak trying to get around the outside of Jamie Anderson as well. They're going to be side by side through turn 3, are they? No, Janiak slots in behind. Back up the hill once more. And look at this now, Norby starting to pile the pressure on to Jochen Hahn. And if there's anybody that can absorb that pressure, it's Jochen. He knows exactly where to go defensive and what to do. Through the chicane, so close together. And you can hear the turbos whistling away as they get on and off the power, trying to stay within the range of boost that they need. And Teo Calve, he's going to be watching all of this in his mirrors, just hoping that he can maybe break away for a lap if these guys start fighting. Any lap where he hasn't got them all over the back of him is a lap that he will prefer, I'm sure. Kurzim and Halm together just behind. Lachko starting to put a little bit more pressure on Sascha Lenz in the mid-pack. But Norby now running his lines as well. Calve goes deep into 13. Manages to collect it all back together though. Gets an okay run into turn 14, but Hahn is very close to the back of him now in the Iveco. The Freightliner does have a mix of circuits where it's stronger at certain points than others. The Hungaroring has never been its strongest circuit, but still, Adam Lachko and Teo Calve proving that the truck goes well here this weekend. And there you can see pretty much the whole field still in a long train. There's only, well, there's less than 10 seconds separating the whole lot so far. We're on to lap 4 now, 3 laps completed, top 3 altogether. Then you've got Kurzim and Halm. And then behind them, Sascha Lenz, Adam Lachko, Jamie Anderson, Anthony Janiak, Antonio Alberthetti. He's not really making much forward progress from 10th position. And he's got Shane Brereton behind him in 11th place. Here's a quick replay. As that's the lockup from Jochen Hahn. And then he sort of holds up Andre Kurzim as Norby goes down the inside of Steffi Halm. So Teo continues to stay at the front, and look how close these guys are running together here. Again, Norby tries it, and again, Jochen defends. 6-time champion versus 3-time champion. You don't need me to do the maths for you. A lot of titles between these guys. To put it this way, Jochen Hahn won the championship in 2011, 12 and 13. Then Norbert Kish won it in 2014 and 2015. Then it was Jochen Hahn again 2016. Adam Lachko won it in 2017. And then 18 and 19, it was Jochen Hahn once again. There was no championship officially classified in 2020, despite doing a couple of races, but then Norbert Kish won it in 2021. So in the last 10 years, Norbert Kish and Jochen Hahn have won 9 of those titles. It's incredible, as so is that dive by Steffi Halm. Throws it up the inside of Andre Kurzim. Sascha Lenz thinks, okay, that's an opportunity. I'll go down the inside, but now he's going to be on the outside for turn 13. Andre keeps his nose clean down there, does he? Yes, he does. Adam Lachko tries to tuck in now. Jamie Anderson sees an opportunity coming his way if this all goes to pot. Adam Lachko is not backing out of this one, is he? He's really trying to throw the truck in there. Sascha Lenz has gone wide, maybe just giving Andre Kurzim a bit of a kiss, and, well, he's getting what is known as being freight trained right now with all of these trucks going past him. Adam Lachko gives him a bit of a rub on the right-hand side as they come out of the final corner, side by side over the line. Nothing between the two of them. You can see just how close they are in the background of the shot. Norbert Kish making his intentions clear by staying all the way over to the right-hand side of the circuit. The top 3 maybe breaking away a little bit more of door banging going on between Lachko and Kurzim there. And look at that down the inside. Jamie Anderson says, thank you, I'll take one of those. But he doesn't quite get the run on the exit. And Kurzim, well, he's got a really good run. And he's going to have the inside for the next corner. Sascha Lenz throws it up the inside once more on Steffi Halm. He pulled off an absolutely remarkable manoeuvre on Anthony Janiak there yesterday. Doesn't make it work this time round, but he's going to be trying that time and time again, I can assure you. Halm ahead of Lenz. Just trying to stick together and battle as best they can. Loads of dust being kicked up as well as people run wide on the way into turn 4. I think maybe Norby trying everything he can to get past Norbert Kish. Sascha Lenz trying everything he can to get past Steffi Halm. Steffi defending very, very well, but I think here she's going to have to concede into the chicane. It's so hard to defend into there, and Lachko's tried to stay alongside. Steffi Halm has to shoulder barge him out wide. Don't forget, it was these two that had the immense scrap last season here at the Hungaroring in the final laps of the 4th race. And they're at it again. Steffi gets hung out to dry, bad look of it by Adam Lachko. And I think Adam made it through. I'd be concerned as well that Jamie Anderson could also make it past Steffi Halm, so she could have dropped 4 places in 1 lap. Back with Norbert Kish. And Steffi has not dropped another position to Kurzim yet, so she's actually gone to 6th place. Yeah, there is Lenz, then Lachko, then Halm, Kurzim, Anderson, Janiek, and then Antonio Alberthetti with the best seat in the house, watching all of this go on in front of him. But look at how close the field still is. This is lap 5 out of 11. Next time round, we're going to hit the halfway point of the race. And it's been a very, very entertaining day so far. So, your running order at the moment: Theo Calve, Jochen Hahn, Norbert Kish, Sasha Lenz, Adam Lachko rounding out the top 5. Steffi Halm is 6th, Andre Kurzim 7th, 8th is Jamie Anderson, 9th is Anthony Janiek, and Antonio Alberthetti rounds out your 10. Shane Brereton, Heinrich Clemens-Hecker, and then, of course, Martin Gibson at the back of the field. They are your final runners in this 13-truck field. Andre Kurzim moves out to the right-hand side of Jamie Anderson, tries to go a little bit later on the brakes. Has he got an overlap? No, not quite at this point. But everybody in one big train as they make their way around. It looks absolutely awesome, doesn't it? Once more into turn 2, keeping it nice and tidy as best they can. Norbert Kish putting so much pressure on Jochen Hahn. He's absolutely relentless, isn't he, at this stage, is Norby. You can hear the tyres understeering slightly as they make their way up to turn 5. Jochen Hahn shutting the door in Norby's face there, saying, nope, you can't go around this way, sunshine. This is helping Theo Calve. Theo has won a race overall in the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. He has 1 race win overall to his name, which he got in Harama last year. He's been on the podium overall 6 times. And this is his 42nd race start in the championship as well. There are drivers that haven't won races and they've done more than that as well. Theo seemingly getting the back end of the truck a little bit sideways there for just a moment as he went through the left-hander. That was turn 10. As Jochen Hahn closes right up on the brakes once more. Gets very close to the back of the Freightliner. Nearly freight trains him. As the front end of that Iveco dives down on the brakes. Great to see 3 different manufacturers in the top 3 as well. Freightliner, Iveco and MAN. We just need one of the Scanias right up there, but the Scanias have unfortunately had a few issues and not quite the same pace as the trucks at the front end. But this trio still stuck together. Great to watch. And again, a magnetic reception for Norbert Kish. I thought he wasn't coming through there, but he's all the way over on the right-hand side, so a bit of a delay from the camera angle that we saw. Can Norby get a move done in the next couple of laps, though? That's going to be the thing. I think he can't leave it too late, otherwise the tyres will be really worn and he won't quite have the agility that's needed to make an overtaking manoeuvre. Jochen Hahn has defended so well at this point, but who else but Jochen? You know, he's so good at what he does. He's a 6-time champion for a reason. A very, very dominant driver in this championship at certain points in his career. Some of the most dominance we've seen was 2015 with Norbert Kish. He won 19 races in the championship. Absolutely amazing. And it's also amazing that our trucks run on 100% renewable HVO diesel, as you see from our graphic there. Sustainability is really one of the key factors of this series, helping push the trucking industry forward, as well as truck racing in general. Let's not forget as well, this week there was a feasibility study passed to see if trucks could go endurance racing, and it has passed the feasibility. So hopefully in the not too distant future we will have special endurance events for trucks like these and trucks from places like the Dutch Truck Racing Championship, the British and French Truck Racing Championships as well. We would welcome anybody with the machinery that is, of course, to the right specification to come and compete in a long-distance race such as that. Whether that be 6 hours, 12 hours or 24, it would be awesome to have and great to watch, I'm sure. Now Sasha Lenz and Adam Lachko have broken free of that group behind them. They're actually starting to close in now on Norby. And I think he knows that as well. He's going to have to get a move on here and try and get up the order sharpish. Just watching them come around the final corner now, it looks like Norby just ran a little bit deep to try and get a slingshot off the corner, but it doesn't seem to have worked to that point. It's not so important in these trucks as they're limited to 100 miles an hour. As Jochen Hahn looks down the inside of Calvé, there's not quite a gap there for him to go to. Norby has a bit of a snatch of the brakes as well. And they're more battling further down. Andrei Kurzim having to defend from Anthony Janiak, who has just got Antonio Alberthetti right behind him. And there is Norby trying to squeeze it all the way around the outside. He's down the inside into turn 3. Do they avoid contact? They do. Jochen Hahn's going to have the inside as they go through turn 4 at the top of the hill. And here comes Sasha Lenz too. Sasha Lenz wants to make something of this. He can't quite get it done. Norby's got a great run up the hill though. He's around the outside at turn 4. Doesn't abuse track limits. He's going to surely have the inside line for turn 5. But look how late Jochen goes on the brakes. He tries to squeeze Norby to the curb to the inside. Is there a bit of contact? I think so. Looks very, very clean though in the bigger picture, doesn't it? Fantastic racing between these two absolute giants of the series. And Norbert Kish gets in front. The crowd goes nuts. I can hear it from inside here. Everybody going bananas in the grandstand. Amazing scenes. And Teo Calvé, well, he's going to be thinking, oh no, not that red one again, as he starts to now close down on him. But Norbert Kish, well, it was phenomenal driving as ever. And Jochen Hahn, it has to be said, great defending up to that point. You know, he's done absolutely everything he can to stay in front. He worked so hard to keep that white and blue Iveco in front. And you can see there a bit of a slide out of turn 12. Maybe he is pushing too hard, as he said previously. Maybe just overworking that front axle. Now this is lap 8 out of 11. As Teo Calvé's gone deep into turn 14. The truck just didn't turn in how he wanted it to. And now Norbert Kish is all over him. And as he comes out of the final corner and chases him down, the crowd is going bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. They love watching this. It'd be amazing to see the same driver win 2 races in one day. We don't have it that often in the championship, to be honest with you. But I think it would be awesome for Norby to do that in front of his home crowd. It would really mean a lot. He did it last year here, actually, where he won 3 of the 4 races, and he only didn't win the first one because of a boost pipe failure. And there again is the move on Jochen Hahn. Down the inside he goes. Great stuff. Nice clean move. Good respect as well from Jochen to give him the space to do that. And there is the reaction. Look at that. Everybody loves it. Everybody absolutely loves it. There is a big screen over to the right-hand side of the start-finish straight, so they get to see the broadcast as it is happening live. And now Norby piling the pressure on Teo Calvé. And I mean, if that was the reaction of him gaining second place, I'd love to see the reaction of him getting the race lead if he gets there. We know how fierce Teo can be at defending. He's such a lovely young Frenchman, but he is so feisty behind the wheel of that truck. I wouldn't want to come up against him on track. He's a very awesome talent. And Teo Calvé is double French truck racing champion as well. He won the series in 2020 and 2021. He's been in this series for 5 years, so he's got his stripes by now. But he's just not quite reached the level to be classified as a Titan driver. So let's not forget, he leads the Promoters' Cup in this race. Jamie Anderson, 7th overall, is 2nd in the Promoters' Cup. The next up, it's Shane Brereton in 11th place. The Promoters' Cup chrome-rated drivers are not really making too much of an impression in this round. Well, that is if you discount Teo Calvé, of course. He's doing an amazing job. Now, he really has to defend here because Norby will throw it up the inside if he gets chance. Now, watch for Jochen Hahn trying to maybe come around here. No, Teo's gone wide. Oh, Teo's outbroken himself. I don't think there was contact. The crowd loves it, though. They have gone absolutely nuts. And, oh, Teo's got a problem. Teo's gone straight on. Something's gone wrong with the steering. The truck just did not behave itself. Oh, that's absolutely devastating. That's a literal commentator's curse. Instant commentator's curse. And I can only apologise to Teo Calvé. But Norbert Kish leads. And, well, there's something clearly wrong. The fluid that was coming out of the bottom of the truck there was from the brakes. The brakes get water-cooled. So that's not anything to be too alarmed of. Or too alarmed by. But the truck just went straight on. It just did not turn in. And it doesn't seem to be turning at all. I'm not sure whether the steering rack's broken or something. But, well, 4 drivers that we normally have at the front of the field have found their way back there. Norbert Kirsch, Jochen Hahn, Sasha Lenz, Adam Lachko. Then it's Steffi Hallman, Jamie Anderson. And here is Teo Calvé just going straight on. Look, there's no response at all from the steering at the front of the truck. It's like he just pulls into the services. And he's very lucky, actually, that Jochen Hahn backed out of all of that because otherwise the two of them would have been off the road. It was great awareness by Jochen. I mean, I'm sure he probably didn't know that Teo couldn't steer at all, but, you know, he backed out of it, got on the brakes early to try a cutback. And Teo's Freightliner, unfortunately, making that a lot easier for him. There's Steffi Hallman, currently in 5th position. She started this race in 2nd, but she's not doing too badly at all, is she? Holding on ahead of Jamie Anderson, who once again now leads the Promoters' Cup in this race. And there is Teo. Really cool helmet design. And understandably, very, very upset after that one. Tries to figure out what on earth happened there. And maybe one of the brake discs is broken. That's apparently what I'm hearing. One of the brake discs is completely gone. So maybe it's just affected the way that the truck steers and it just hasn't responded at all. You know, there was just no rotation from those front wheels at all. But still, the fight is on for the final podium spot now. Jochen Hahn trying to stay ahead of Sasha Lenz and Adam Lachko. And this whirlwind of a weekend is almost at a close. We have one more lap after this. We've completed 9. We're just about to complete 10 and go on to lap 11 out of 11 here at the Hungaroring as whoa! Straight on as both Sasha Lenz and Adam Lachko go wide. Everybody's going wide at the final corner. I'm wondering whether there's some sort of fluid or something down from Teo's truck maybe. Has he had like a... I don't know. They get like power steering pumps, don't they? Maybe he's had some sort of failure there and it's maybe leaked some of the fluid onto the circuit or something. I'm not the most technologically advanced person when it comes to that, admittedly, but even still, I know that that can cause an issue that involves fluid, so hopefully not too much of it down there at the final corner. But Sasha Lenz, all of a sudden, is watching 2nd place disappear away from him up the road. We're on to the final lap of the race now. And it's Jochen Hahn in 2nd. Adam Lachko wants another podium. He's had a really, really strong weekend as Adam Lachko. He wants to get another one to add to his list. He finished 2nd in race 3 of the weekend. He won the 2nd race of the weekend and then he finished 4th in race 1. It's been a great haul of points for him. And if he can get 3 podiums out of 4 races, he'll be over the moon. But Sasha Lenz is going to put up a hard defence surely as well. Lachko leans on him even more and pushes him wide at turn 5. Not sure that was completely kosher. I'm sure, yep. Sasha Lenz is not going to like that one bit. Gives him a big shoulder barge in the right-hand side. And I'm not sure if that will stand for Adam Lachko. As wow, look at that. Sasha Lenz gets a run on the exit of the chicane. And well, Lachko is ahead of him on the road. But I'm not sure that was completely a clean pass. I mean, you could argue that Sasha Lenz tried to close the door when Adam already got alongside. But he wasn't that far alongside, was he? He just sort of pushed into the back of him. Anyway, we can wait and see with that one, because into the final couple of corners, it's a dream return to his home circuit, really, for Norbert Kish. Sure, yesterday may have been an absolute nightmare, but we forget about that and we look at the positives. It's been an amazing day for Norby Kish. Another pole position, a win in race 1. And now, after starting 8th on the grid in front of his absolute adoring fans that love him so much here at the Hungaroring, Norbert Kish takes his 3rd win of the weekend. Amazing scenes here at the Hungaroring. Fantastic performance, Norby. Hats off to you, Sunshine. Jochen Hahn finishes in 2nd place, a great result for him and the team. Adam Lachko gets 3rd, with Sasha Lenz in 4th place. Steffi Halm crosses the line 5th, and Jamie Anderson, 2 wins out of 2 today in the Promoters' Cup. Whatever they did to that truck overnight, well, it must have been good. And here come the donuts. We saw this last year with Norby. He loves to put on a hell of a show. Check this out. Look at that. Phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Norbert Kish, an absolutely wonderful showman. Perfectly placed for our cameraman as well. Great choreography going on there, for sure. And now he's got to figure out which way he's facing. I'm surprised that the marks aren't still there from last year when he did that as well, actually. He did that at the end of the 4th race last season. They're not going to be able to see him. Look at how much smoke it's produced. Incredible. And here we go. He's going to continue drifting it all the way around the circuit, I imagine. We're in for a hell of a lap now. There, the marshals waving the tricolour of Hungary, the red, white and green. And well done to all of our drivers on their respective results. Great day for Jamie Anderson. He'll be really, really chuffed with that. Norby greets yet more fans with some more drifting down at turn 2. Look at that. Wow. Well, if you're new to truck racing and you've never seen a truck drift before, believe me when I tell you that this is normal. It took me a while to get used to seeing trucks go sideways like this, but they can do it. And then again, look at our marshals. Look at that. Look at our marshals around the circuit. They're absolute superstars. We must thank all of the marshals for all of the hard work that they put in to make sure that these races can continue to be run and run safely as well. A lot of marshals all around the world are volunteers, and it's great to have them with us. But look at this display of just unbelievable truck control by Norby. And look at that, they're even more creative with the with the penalty markers now, putting flags in the end of them. Here's another look back at the donuts. And that is a lot of smoke from those Goodyear tyres. I'm not sure those ones will get retreaded and put onto a road truck. Then again, they'll probably get autographed and signed for if they do. But look at that. I don't think I've ever seen smoke that white on a racetrack. It looks fake, doesn't it? Phenomenal stuff, though. Beautiful pictures as well by our cameramen here. And hats off to them. And a big thank you to all of their hard work this weekend. Without them, we would not have the incredible pictures that we do. And still the drifting continues by Norbert Kish. I can't wait to see his reaction when he gets out, because this race may mean even more to him. You know, he's not just driven away from the front of the pack. He started 8th on the grid and had to really work for that one, gaining places as the race went on. And that has been a real demonstration of the pace that this Hungarian driver has. He's a real force to be reckoned with. Look at that. Unreal. Unreal from Norbert Kish. Great truck control. And with very little weight over the rear end of these things, it's quite easy to do that, to be honest with you. But still, I couldn't do it. I say it's easy. It's easy for me to sit here and say, oh, I probably could, but no, I couldn't. These guys do such a great job of it. You know, they know how these trucks behave. They race them so often that they just have the absolute knack for it. It's completely different to driving any other sort of racing machine. You know, these things weigh so much and they're so much bigger and more cumbersome in their nature. But truck racing is very real, and we love to embrace it and enjoy it. And we hope you enjoy it too. There is Jochen Hahn in the number 4 machine. Another podium to add to his already ridiculous tally of podiums. Just have a quick look back and see how many of them he's had this weekend. I mean, he got one in the first race. Of course, he didn't finish the second race of the weekend, and then he ended up third in the other one. So 3 podiums for Jochen Hahn this weekend means that he is now on 264 podiums in this championship from 622 starts. A hell of a bunch of numbers behind Jochen Hahn and his amazing career, and long may it continue. But look at the scenes here as all the crowds pile in to get a glimpse of Norbert Kirsch and celebrate his fantastic race victory. He's about to jump out of the truck any moment now, and here he is. And listen to this. I've been told we have 20,000 fans here today at the circuit as well. A massive turnout. And you can bet that at least 90% of them here to see this man. And look at the media around him. Phenomenal. Such a buzz around Norby, and he's such an exciting driver to have in the championship. A real character as well. Certainly keeps things entertaining as all of the photographers try and get as many pictures as they can of him. Teo Calvé has managed to make his way back into the pit lane at least, but there was clearly some sort of leak or problem from that machine which caused him to ultimately lose the race win. You know, he could have been right up there for the victory. So here's a quick look back then. Calvé led us away ahead of Jochen Hahn, Andre Kurzim. Norbert Kirsch made a fantastic start and got some positions very, very early on, getting into third place, where he sort of got stuck for a little amount of time before going past Jochen Hahn into the chicane with this beautiful move down the inside. Sascha Lenz almost able to follow him through. He then tried to line up a move on Teo Calvé, but ultimately there would be a problem with Teo's truck. He would go straight on, and then unfortunately the young Frenchman would retire just one corner later after a little bit of contact with Jochen Hahn. And down there with Norby, we can see Christina.
Yes, absolutely. Final zip before the champagne. Norbert Kirsch, this is water. Champagne is going to be upstairs there in front of the crowd. You did some marvelous donuts, lots of white smoke. And as a commentator was saying, a great driving experience. But not only the donuts, of course, the race. Then this is the important thing.
Yeah, I think today's race was much better, you know, and much cleaner. I think everybody was watching out. So yeah, probably yesterday was a good lesson for everybody, probably myself included. And today it was really nice. You know, I could see that everybody was being very careful. You know, everybody's trying to stay on track, and I think there was minimal contact, or at least what I experienced. It was very, very nice. So yeah, very happy. You know, that we were able to do this. You know, to come back from yesterday, the team fixed the track, and to come out here on Sunday and win both races. It's just really awesome. And yeah, a huge thank you and a huge respect to all the team members we have, because you know, they did a marvelous job over the night, and also today, you know, with the setup and the preparing the track for every session. And yeah, it's just AWS Racing is the best team out there. You know, I'm sure.
I heard that from you today. So as you've been saying, all the drivers were learning. You were really had lots of conversation, of course, after yesterday. This is always also good to see that racing is a sport where you can evolve and train yourself. And of course, you have to deal with such situations, but everyone did very well during this race.
Yeah. Like I said, today's experience was much better for me. And I think also for many drivers. But I don't know, because I overtake them, so maybe they are not so happy. But you know, I am very happy. You know, today's race was, I think, a clean race and a very nice race. So I am happy.
So we are in Hungary, of course. What is your program for tonight?
You know, I'm not sure. I'm sure after the podium, we will have some meeting with the fans. You know, in the paddock, and yeah, you know, I hope we will have a minute to celebrate, because yeah, I'm sure everybody wants to just go home, and have a good night's sleep, and and pack up and go home, and maybe we celebrate tomorrow or the day after.
Sounds good to me. So up to the podium. So we're going to celebrate right now with Norbert Kirsch, and of course second place and third place, and maybe we do see champagne right now.
Oh yeah, there certainly will be some spraying of the champagne in this one. The last race of the weekend, certainly the best time for it. So, a quick look back then at how the race happened. A great start with everybody keeping it nice and clean. Awesome early progress from Norbert Kish and Jochen Hahn. Adam Lachko and Sasha Lenz also working well up through the pack. Theo Calve did such an amazing job at hanging on. And then once Norby got past Jochen, the pressure really ramped up, didn't it? Norby there with the move down the inside of Jochen really opened the door and pushed hard to get ahead. Maybe pushing a little bit less hard than Adam Lachko was, but such a shame for Theo Calve to lose out like this and have the failure that he had after such a fantastic drive to the front of the field. But Norbert Kish celebrating in phenomenal fashion in front of his home fans. And there is your championship standings then. Norbert Kish, sorry, that's the race result, apologies. Norbert Kish finishing fastest, just unbelievable dominance there in that race. Absolutely unbelievable. Finishes ahead of Jochen Hahn by 5.2 seconds in the end. Adam Lachko gets another podium though. Brilliant weekend for him, it must be said. Sasha Lenz finishes 4th. Steffi Halm with some good points in 5th, ahead of Jamie Anderson and Anthony Janiak in 7th. Antonio Alberthetti was 8th. A good recovery near the end, ahead of Andre Kurzim and Shane Brereton, finishing inside the top 10 in the Promoters' Cup. Clemens Hecker finishes 11th, with Martin Gibson getting some points in 12th. And Theo Calve, absolutely devastated for Theo. I really hope that he can get his chin up and get back to the next race in such fantastic form. Norbert Kish becomes the first driver this season to get more than 100 points on the board. 101 points to his name, to the 83 of Sasha Lenz. Jochen Hahn is 3rd at the moment on 78. Adam Lachko 4th, with Antonio Alberthetti just inside the top 5 there on 51 points. Steffi Halm next up in 6th, ahead of Andre Kurzim in 7th. And then we have Theo Calve, Shane Brereton 2 points ahead of Jamie Anderson in 10th place. Now we have the drivers making their way up to the podium. We have our grid / podium girls either side, who have been on, to be honest, we've seen them around the paddock a lot this weekend. They've been on a lot of duties with many different sort of ceremonies and different presentations and so on throughout this whole event. They've done an amazing job, and to be quite frank with you, I don't know how they stand the heat all the time. Adam Lachko finishes 3rd in that race. Maybe a little bit tainted by the contact with Sasha Lenz near the end there, but still a great performance all weekend from Adam. It's been very entertaining to watch. And then Jochen Hahn finishing 2nd, and the crowd goes wild for Norbert Kish. Now I can bet you in just a moment's time Norbert is not going to be anywhere near as dry as he is right now. He's going to get absolutely drenched by these guys. Jochen Hahn certainly knows how to spray a champagne bottle. He's had plenty of them in his time. Jochen has 23 years of experience in this championship, and I imagine 23,000 trophies of all sorts. And there you go. Norbert Kish gets his 3rd race winner's trophy of the weekend. There you go. Lovely showmanship. Love that. And he says, this one's for you, this one's for the team, after the fantastic effort they put in last night to get that truck back into race-winning form. And there you go, the national anthem of Hungary for Norbert Kiss in front of his Hungarian fans at the Hungaroring. What a fantastic combination, eh? So now the drivers will pose for a couple of pictures, and then, well, you can bet that the two grid girls we have there will absolutely run for cover, because they've some of them have managed to get absolutely soaked this weekend by champagne bottles and all sorts. Up there on the podium, the shenanigans of these drivers knows no bounds. And Norbert Kiss is about to probably have some of the most high-pressure champagne he's ever had to drink right now. Yep, Adam Lachko certainly delivering the initial blow. There you go. And Jochen doesn't want to miss out on the opportunity. Watch this from Jochen. He gives it back to Adam, and Norby, well, he gets absolutely drenched. Fantastic. And Jochen makes sure he doesn't waste a drop, of course. Oh, there you go. Our cameraman Lewis, very brave getting that close to all of the shenanigans as well. Norby is absolutely drenched, as you'd expect. Adam and Jochen saying, yep, we got him. Brilliant stuff. Great camaraderie, as ever, in the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship, as Norby chucks the rest of it down the back of Adam Lachko's race suit. Now the photographers take pictures of them once more after a champagne shower. And we will move on to the next podium, which will be the Promoters' Cup, I believe. Although we have a quick look back at how the race all unfolded. Steffi Halm blowing us a kiss of good luck before everything got underway. And the crowds all waited to see what Norbert Kiss would do. Green flag waved, and everybody slightly tentative to get away in these very hot conditions, not knowing what the race would hold. But it was a fantastic, clean and exciting start for everybody when the lights went out. Early on though, Norbert Kiss made fantastic progress, and Theo Calve had to defend from the very get-go. Jochen Hahn trying everything he could to get through in the opening stages. Norby trying to make his way through the pack and doing it well, getting past Andre Kurzim quite early on. He would start piling the pressure on the six-time champion in front of him, and eventually would get the move done down the inside of turn 5 and then up the hill into the chicane. Very, very close to making contact, but great respectful racing between the pair. Theo Calve would unbelievably just retire with only a couple of moments left to go in the race, a couple of corners from the end. Absolutely devastating stuff for the young Frenchman, who looked to be fighting on for one of his very, very rare overall race victories in this championship. Lachko and Lenz getting very, very argy-bargy and friendly, but nothing would stop Norbert Kiss this afternoon. He absolutely decimated the field in that race and then put on a fantastic show for everybody around the circuit. And it certainly has been a hell of a lot of fun to see just the reception that he gets from everybody here. There is our rather empty podium, sans champagne bottles, I should say. And here's a quick look at the Promoters' Cup Championship standings. Theo Calve, 91 points to his name, ahead of Shane Burton. Jamie Anderson closing in once more in third place after another win for him there. Clemens Hecker fourth, ahead of Stefan Faas, and he's only 3 points clear now of Martin Gibson, who's moved into sixth position with 34 points to his name after a debut weekend in the European Truck Racing Championship. So we wait to see who makes it up onto the podium next. I'm not sure if they've done the Promoters' Cup podium completely or whether they will have the team's podium now. And we'll see. And no, well, there you go. We have, I believe that's Clemens Hecker making his way onto the podium, finishing third in the Promoters' Cup this time round. Next up, second place, Shane Brereton. More important points for Shane in the championship fight, especially after Theo Calve started on pole position in that one. And 2 out of 2 today for Jamie Anderson. What a fantastic performance by Jamie. And he will be really pleased that the truck was repaired in time and all on the straight and narrow, ready for some great racing today. Trophies presented to the drivers. Clemens Hecker gets the first of them, third place in class. Shane Brereton for second place. And then the final trophy going the way of the British driver, Jamie Anderson. Me and Jamie are getting the same flight home later on, so I may ask him where the heck he ends up putting these trophies, because they're quite big trophies, to be honest with you. I don't think that would go in any sort of overhead compartment. And I'm pretty sure now we will get the national anthem, and yes, there we go. Spray the champagne in the Hungarian sunshine this afternoon. Now let's see who gets the most soaked here. It's great to see Heinrich Clemens Hecker up there on the podium as well. He's had a tough start to the campaign, and well, champagne for Jamie Anderson, I think it's safe to say. I'd tell you what, he's done all right there as Jamie, you know. He's absolutely obliterated the pair of them, I'd say, if there was a winner in the champagne fight. But it's great camaraderie, great entertainment, and these guys all absolutely love it. So I believe we may get the team's podium now, just to round things out here this evening. Or this afternoon, I should say. It's only 4:15 local time, but it feels like it's been a long day already. And we'll have the top 3 finishing teams from that race coming up onto the podium. A member from Bagheera Racing Team, and of course then from Hahn Racing, and of course Revesh Racing as well. And now the announcer comes on air to let us know that people will be making it up to the podium, but we will go back down underneath the podium with Christina, who has Jamie Anderson.
Congratulations, this is the trophy. Our commentator says you are on the same flight. Is it hand luggage or where to put the trophy?
Yeah, I might see if he's got some spare hand luggage, I can let him borrow it. So no, I think we'll either leave it here or maybe give it to a fan or somebody on the way down in the pit.
Oh wow, that sounds really amazing. It's a huge trophy, is it for you? Second trophy today, of course, first place. How happy are you with your personal results on this Sunday? I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah, really good, to be fair. You know, the yesterday didn't go too well, and we had many problems during the night. So we've been awake nearly 48 hours. And to come away with having 2 wins and fighting where we thought we should be fighting with Steffi and Antonio, you know, we feel good for today.
Absolutely, and with no sleep. I mean, how do you handle the situation right now? Must be dreaming, or how do you feel?
No, I feel fine. It's the adrenaline, so unless I've had a few dreams whilst I've been going around, I can't remember. But other than that, no, it's been good, and it's been a bit stressful during the time, but this is what racing is, and the teams help us do that, and the guys have worked through the night as well, all to be here so we could be on the racetrack today for the fans.
Absolutely, and the fans loved it. Thank you very much, Jamie Anderson. Clemens Hecker is also here, also with a trophy in his hand, and we talked ahead of the race. We met at the end of the grid, and now you're standing here with a trophy in your hands. How did you see your spaces in during the race? How did you manage to get forward?
Ja, ich sag mal, nach unserem Auftakt in Misano tut das wirklich richtig gut hier. Nicht nur mir, sondern dem ganzen Team. Das Rennen, ich habe einen mega Start gehabt, kam direkt an den Martin Gibbon vorbei und konnte ihn hinter mir halten. Hatte die Pace nach vorne, hatte zum Glück noch ein paar gute Reifen über, die wir vorne drauf gemacht haben. Und sie haben gehalten.
So he said, yes, I'm very glad. After Misano, it was a difficult start for him there. And then he said, I had a good pace, and the start was really optimus for him, because he was able to overturn then Martin Gibson over there, and finally with a trophy in his hand. How do you celebrate with the team? Also wie feiert ihr das jetzt auch mal als Team zusammen? Das ist natürlich auch ganz schön.
Ich denke, dass wir jetzt runtergehen werden und eine Flasche Sekt aufmachen, dann anfangen abzubauen. Morgen früh um 7:30 Uhr geht der Flieger wieder zurück nach Hause, dass wir morgen Nachmittag alle wieder arbeiten können. Und dann bereiten wir uns auf den Slowakia-Ring vor.
Thank you very much. So at 7:30 tomorrow morning, it's his flight, and so it might be a small party with the team. So they're coming back to the paddock, getting everything packed right now. But he said another bottle of champagne, of course. There might be one or maybe two. I don't know. Maybe the fridge is full. So that's it from me right now with the scooter and the bottle of champagne, and and the trophy is transported right away. That's really amazing because here, of course, there are all the other cars lining up. So this is why it's a bit hectic right now. But we are calm because that was race number 4. But you want to see the best scenes? Here they are. Remember the weather forecast? It was 50-50. I rather stay with the sun, of course. So beautiful weekend here at the Hungaroring. Beautiful Sunday. Thanks to all for watching. Yes, you see the beautiful track here. We want to stay here, but we need to leave soon. But we will see each other again at the Slovakia ring. So huge and a massive thanks to all the team behind the cameras. They're really, really important. Chas Drakert, Joachim Eberts, our commentators. Thanks very much. You did a great, great job. Oh, you hear the sound of the cars, but I prefer the sound of the trucks. You too, please tune in to our social channels, Goodyear FIA ETRC. That's the hashtag also. Please leave us a message if you liked our program. So this is it from us, from the Hungaroring. Stay safe, that's important, and leave a bit spare place in your hand luggage for all the trophies. Okay, will you? See you soon.